All right, and we back with another episode of Inconsistent Podcast. I know I've been gone for like a month.
That's why it's called inconsistent.
Very inconsistent. It's your boy Shy Saint Laurent. I got my homie AG Dynasty with me,
What's up, my brother?
and we back. We're gonna talk about Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. Hold on one second. So AG, let me just ask you real quick. Did you like Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty?
Yeah, I loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. But I mean, of course, we'll get more into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm very biased when it comes to the cyberpunk genre. So, you know, we'll talk more about it. But yes, I love it. I think it's the best expansion.
Okay, I feel that. I liked it. I won't cap. It wasn't like a bad experience to me. At least, you know, there's some parts I didn't like. And I think you know what I was talking about, because I texted you like deadass. It was like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and I was like, damn, I know this nigga probably sleeping, but what was that?
So man, yeah, it's a lot happens in this expansion
For sure.
That really sets up what could happen in the sequel, and I think that's why I really love it. The way they took the expansion is something I didn't expect. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you play the different endings.
Okay, and you think there's gonna be like a direct sequel to 2077? Like, you think the next Cyberpunk games? I think they're working on another one, right? Like,
Yeah, they already are started working on it. I think they're like in pre-stages right now. But yeah, definitely a sequel come out. What we don't know is what year it will be in. Will it be in 2079 like the ending says, or will it be 2078 or like a huge time jump? Like, we don't know. So we'll see.
Okay, so we're gonna go through the plot real quick and talk about a little bit of the narrative. Not too spoilery, but just to be clear, this game has like several different endings, and that's the base game has several different endings, and then Phantom Liberty adds several different endings on top of that, which is something that I do respect. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that's like a positive to me, is that you start off as like either the street kid or whatever your origin story is for Cyberpunk, and you kind of have this nice long narrative. It's not too long, like it doesn't drag out. I don't feel like the story drags out. Like from when you get dragged into the city to help your homie Jackie way back, when stuff starts to, you get to when Phantom Liberty picks up. And I had already pretty much beaten Cyberpunk on my PS4 when the game dropped. A lot of people had bugs and stuff. I never really had an issue, but I had already beaten Cyberpunk. Jumping into Phantom Liberty, it just picks up naturally. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think there was anything that felt jarring, and I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they definitely. And I also like how you can go straight into Phantom Liberty when you open up the game. Like, so if you want to skip ahead, even though like it's definitely recommended to start from the beginning and like really build up to that. But yeah, like when they open up the Pacifica District, like it fits right into Dogtown. They did really good work when it came to that storytelling, man.
Now, the only thing I don't like about the base game of Cyberpunk and also Phantom Liberty is just the way it ends. And I don't mean like necessarily the narrative of the ending. I'm cool with it having like one of those a sad ending, a dark ending, whatever. But one thing I didn't really like is that like the ending felt forced, like overtly depressing. Like, it couldn't just be like, things didn't work out exactly how you hoped it would or whatever. But it seems like in every ending, you either die or you wish you did. Like, am I tripping, bro? Like, it seems like in every ending, it's like, yeah, no, you're not coming back home. Oh, you barely survived, and it stops. Like, your story's over, and it's always like you kind of accomplished not much in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? Like, they never really make you feel like, at least, all right. So like, I got the tower ending. So in the tower ending, it never really makes you feel like you became a legend even. You know what I mean? Like it never says like you come back and nobody knows who you are. Da da da. It's like yeah, okay. You know, I've seen some people say like, you know, you wasn't really active that long. But it's like in the time I was active, I took down like Arasaka, I took down the president. I say the president, took down the president, whatever. Like it should at least be like, you know, let me, you know, feel like I did something. But it's like, nah, you were nobody in this ending. Yeah. And this is like one of the best endings.
Yeah, no. So let me tell you why that ending is amazing. Cause we have to go back. We have to go back to what Dexter Deshawn said when we first met him. Remember, he was like, "Let me ask you this: do you want to go out in a blaze of glory, or do you want to go out, you know, old and wrinkly, smell of urine or something like that, but live a quiet life?" And I think what's dope is that the tower, that ending is him living the quiet life.
Right.
It's him, like, you know what I'm saying? He's not dying like all the other endings. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna die in 6 months whether you go through any of the other endings. But this ending, you know what I'm saying? He's not gonna die and he can live his life. He can choose what to do next. He has a choice finally. You know what I'm saying? He had no choice back then.
But does he really have a choice though?
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. Like he can go work for the FIA because remember Reed gives him that choice, right? So he can just go out. You know, Misty is still there. You can go with her or something.
She was leaving the town.
And you know what I'm saying? But he can live a long life.
He got a life.
That's why
he
I
has
love
a life
it.
to live.
Exactly.
I respect it because I definitely headcanoned that when I loaded a previous save after that, it was just been like it's been like 3 or 4 years and he got like his cyberware back and stuff. I just pretending he's okay now.
And you never know, maybe he can get his cyberware back through another procedure or whatever in the sequel. Like we don't know. Like the developers could do anything, but I love that ending because it really feels like an ending. You know, the tower really feels like an ending.
It does feel like an ending. It felt like a fitting ending. I was like, damn, I feel like they're trying to bully me right now. Like it couldn't just be like, you know, you have no cyberware and whatever. Like I really thought they was gonna kill him.
I
thought they was gonna push him down the stairs.
I was like, oh no!
I was like, bro, you kill me like this, like come on, like I thought they was gonna push him down the stairs. And I have no cyberware to protect myself. I'm fragile. Like I was like, he gonna die. Like it's a wrap. But thankfully, you know, he gets to walk off in the sunset and stuff like that. So I do respect the ending. I don't know if I didn't get the feeling like it's going to carry V's story into like the next game, and like that's why I said like it kind of sucks that it doesn't feel like V became a legend in any sense, even if he himself like, you know, like left that life behind. V should have become a legend like Johnny Silverhand. You know what I'm saying? So like the next game starts, and at least we feel like even if we're playing like a whole different person, we hear about like, oh, you don't know about what happened in 2077? Like it was like 15 years ago, or whatever. Yeah. And it's like someone took down Arasaka, like da da da. I was like, oh yeah, I was there. I was that guy. Like you know what I'm saying? But time will tell, you know. But whether they do that or not, I hope they do something like that. I would like to feel like, you know, his story mattered. A weak kind of comparison, but like they did it, and the fact that they did it, it speaks volumes. Was in like Dragon Ball Xenoverse, where in the first game you create a character, whatever, and then in the second game you create a new character, but the character you create from the first game is off with Trunks doing stuff like their boss level character.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And when you're like doing stuff where it's like, oh, you're not strong enough to do this, and you're fighting by yourself, and then your character from the last game comes in with Trunks wearing stuff that he was wearing in the last game, using moves that you taught him in the last game. Yeah. He comes in and he's fighting next to you, and you're just like, I trained that guy. Yeah, like that was me. Hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just that continuation is hard, and I would like to have seen that because, you know, we talk about like pushing that boundary forward. This is why I said like Cyberpunk didn't push it in the same way Mass Effect did, because if Cyberpunk really had like, I'm gonna say like the balls to say like, hey, we know this game is good, and we know we're telling more games after this. Yeah. Like they would have had the balls Mass Effect 1 did to set the game up for another story. Because I feel like we got Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 in Cyberpunk. You know what I mean? Like the ending for Cyberpunk feels like the ending to Mass Effect 3.
Oh, okay, interesting.
You know what I mean? Where it's very final. Even there's a few different choices, but it's a very final ending. It's not like the opening. It doesn't come across as like the opening to like a series or whatever. And you know, they try to say like the last gen, you know, held the development back. That's why we had to cut the PS4 and the Xbox one-off without the DLC and stuff like that. But it's like, okay, but with the next gen, like, where you like gonna be confident and say like, hey, V story might just be starting. Like, yeah, the niggas on the last gen, like, their story's over. It's a dub for them.
Yeah.
Then I get in the next game. But hey, for everybody else on here, like, starting with Phantom Liberty, hey, this could just be getting started. You know what I'm saying? And like, I would have liked to have felt that confidence because it would have added more hype for the next game. You know what I mean? It would have been like, I want to see where the story goes. That's why I said, like, you were surprised when I told you, like, once I beat the game, I was like, that was cool. And then I deleted it to make space for the next game because, like, the story's over. You know what I mean? Like, even though there's more stuff for me to do, it's like, it takes place before I finish the game. So it's very final. The plot itself is good. The roller coaster for me was cool. Yeah. The picking which side you're on. Like, I like Solomon Reed. I like Songbird. Yeah, Myers. Like, their
relationship was fire.
They were fire. Like, they were real characters. You know what I'm saying?
Idris Elba killed it, bro. Like, he has such a commanding presence in every scene.
Bro, I was like hoping I didn't have to kill him, bro.
Oh my god.
I was hoping, and I sided with Songbird, and he's ruthless. He don't play.
That man's an idealist, bro. That's why that's why it's dope, the dichotomy of his character and Johnny Silverhand. Because Johnny Silverhand has a lot of respect for Reed because he was like, yo, I used to be like him. You know what I'm saying? He was like, bro, we're idealists. Like, even one of the lines in the game is like, we're both idealists. You know what I'm saying? So I love that character. So what did you think when you got to the airport and you had to, make that decision, bro? At the end, before the tower. So
I ended up siding with like Songbird. No, is that the airport?
You shoot up the airport,
and then like you waiting for the train to come in or something like
that. You take the train to the rocket, and then Reed shows up.
Yeah.
So like, what did you think?
I was carrying Songbird. He kept killing me, bro. He killed me like 10 times, and then no, because I didn't know that I was supposed to put the body down. I think I have it on here. It's either on here or on the other video. I didn't know I was supposed to put the body down, so he kept shooting me, and then I finally realized like, oh, I'm just supposed to put the body down here, like, and that's it. And I was happy that me and him were able to talk it out because I was like, bro, she played both of us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, yeah. When she said like, bro, let me tell you, when I first played the game, when she said, oh, sorry, like, this cure is only gonna work for me, I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I gave her up to Reed. I was like, hell no, like, this is crazy. And Johnny was like, he was like, how does it feel like to be a traitor? I was like, bro,
yeah.
I'm trying to save myself. You feel me, like,
bro?
This is crazy.
I was like, bro, she played both of us. Like, I mean, she hired me. Like, at the end of the day, she hired me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand there's a plot going on and the president is this or that and the right of the country and whatever, but she hired me.
Yeah.
Not you. You didn't hire. If you hired me, it would be different. It'd be different. You know what I'm saying? But my loyalty lies to her to this extent. The fact that she can't pay me now, the fact that she basically told me she can't hold up her end of the deal. Hey, I don't work for her no more. But I feel bad for her, and like, that's your homegirl or whatever. She's lost in the sauce, bro. I was like, she's really lost in the sauce. I was like, hey, take her, but I want my cure. That's my, like, that's what I want. Like, I want my cure. And I didn't really feel bad until, like, I seen Johnny talk about how, like, oh, you're not gonna, you don't realize, like, they just throwing me away. Like, I'm not going on the shelf or nothing.
I'm not gonna lie, that conversation definitely made me sad. I was thinking about it, I was like, and also if you got a high enough affinity level with Johnny, like, his dialogue is different.
Yeah. So
like, basically he'll be like, he calls you your real name actually.
Yeah, he called me my real name at the end.
That's crazy because I didn't get that one because I didn't have a high enough affinity with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh snap.
I didn't have, so like
I didn't even know I had a real name, bro.
Yeah. So was it like, did you play the female or male?
No, I played the male, so it was Vincent.
Vincent, right? And then hers is Valerie, I think. So I was like, that's pretty dope. Like, he calls you your real name, and he's like, all right, kiddo. You know what I'm saying? This is how it ends, I guess. And so, like, that ending, like, is I love it. Like that whole dialogue exchange, I love it. I think what's crazier is that when you choose to side with Reed, how batshit crazy it gets, bro.
Yeah, when you told me about it, I haven't done it yet. I re-downloaded the game. I haven't done it yet, but I want to see that. You know what I'm saying? I do want to.
Yeah, no, I don't want to spoil it. But that ending goes more into Songbird's like psychotomy, like psychosis, like how she thinks, like what happened to reach this level of craziness to where she's using Blackwall AIs to, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like how did she get to that level? Like, and I think it's dope how they explain that in Reed's story when you follow the Reed path, because you're like, oh, I sided with Reed, and then you're like, oh, now you're questioning, like, should I have sided with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, was it really good? But no, like, if we're being real, the real villain of this is Rosalind Myers.
For real.
The NUSA, yeah.
Wow. You know, I didn't like
President.
I had seen that she was,
bro.
yeah, I had seen she was kind of grimy, but you know, like
Real grimy, bro.
you spend the early part of the mission or early part of the DLC kind of like with her and stuff like that. So I was kind of like, you're a cool person. But then when you was like hiding and she's just like killer, whatever, I was like, yeah, she grimy. But
she's real grimy, bro. And you should. She's a politician, bro. Like I expected nothing less. Like I already didn't trust her. I didn't trust her. I didn't trust Songbird. I don't trust Reed. But that's how good storytelling is done. You gotta pick a side. I don't trust none of these folks, bro. You gotta pick a side. You feel me? So
yeah, I didn't trust the president. Like I just thought she was like interesting. I didn't trust Reed, but I liked Reed as a person.
Yeah, like he hard as fuck, bro. Like the way he just moved, bro. When you first meet him and he puts the gun to your ribs, he's like, nah, don't change, don't turn around. I was like, bro, that shit was fire. That shit was fire to me, bro. I was like, yo.
Classic intro to Reed. Yeah, he was cool.
Like CDPR, man, like they know how to tell a story, bro. It's shit crazy.
And so yeah, the story was lit. Another thing I liked, the gameplay. The gameplay was cool. Gameplay was cool. A lot of the good stuff still carries over, like the combat. You know, I like the combat in the basic game. Phantom Liberties, DLC updates 2.0, all of that stuff kind of fed into the new system. I didn't really care for the way the new perk tree was, only because like I had trouble like relearning it, and also from what I was getting away from it, it basically seemed like I was nerfed from how I was playing it before, which didn't really bother me too much, because there were some new things that kind of like made up for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The combat at some points, like the combat got crazy, and I'm sitting here like deflecting bullets with my sword. Like this is like the Star Wars game I'll never get.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's the Star Wars game I'll never get.
For real, I was really loving the game, bro. Like the fact that Phantom Liberty gives me more to play. You know what I'm saying? Like more to do, more to look into. You asked me before, like, you know, was I like just staying onto the story? Like there was the side missions and stuff. I liked how the side missions felt just natural. Some of them felt like it was like forced onto you, kind of, where you had to like do some missions to like wait for time to pass. I also liked that you could just play the game and do missions and time passes, and then like someone else will call you, and like that stuff was like organic sometimes. You know what I mean? Like the way you could just be playing the game and just doing stuff, and people will call you like, hey, I need you for this.
Yeah.
Or hey, I messed up, or like I do a quest with someone, and then like I think the quest is over, and then like
they call you.
They call me again 3 days later, like
fucked up. Like,
yeah,
bro. There was a lot of that in Phantom Liberty, but even the base game had a lot of that. Which is why when people were like, "Oh, Cyberpunk, like it doesn't, what you do doesn't affect the world," like it does. You just have to go. You got to look for it. It's not gonna be telegraphed in every part of it, but like there's certain aspects in the open world that do change depending on the choices you make.
For sure. And I do like that. The skill trees were cool. I like some of the new stuff on the skill trees.
What about car combat?
car combat.
Bro, that shit's so
car
fun.
combat is hard, bro.
I be going crazy on max tack, bro.
Yeah.
When I go 5-star, bro, like it's so much fun. I just be fucking people up.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. These cops are like OP. The cops are OP.
I like
but
it, I like this
they're
shit.
also stupid as fuck. So it kind of balances out, cause like they'll like lose you and then drive right past you, and like you'll be like, yeah, I got away.
Yeah,
like,
I feel it.
It's cool, but like I like the car combat. I like the vehicles with the guns attached. I like
Bro, that shit crazy.
I love riding around with the motorcycle with the sword, just for no reason, blocking bullets on the sword on the bike.
Yeah, that shit go
Fire.
crazy.
Like the combat is like really dope, and it's first person, which is crazy because.
And I think it's unique too.
Yeah.
I feel like I've never played a first person game that feels like this.
Yeah, the only thing that's like this for me is like Fallout and Skyrim by Bethesda, and because they have first person, melee range combat, but I never felt like they nailed melee combat with their gameplay style. I don't know if Starfield is different, but for like Fallout and Skyrim, I always felt like their melee was trash. So when I played those games, I usually stuck to like guns or bows or whatever ranged attacks. But with this game, I play this game almost exclusively with my sword. Like I'll be out there like, hey, I only pull out the gun if I have to, and even then, like my gun was like I had this one pistol and I just put a scope on it, and it just became like my go-to gun. Like, all right, shit's getting a little bit challenging, just a little hard. I'm gonna headshot you and kill you.
You see, that's I would say my first playthrough, my first character, I used guns. Like, so that first playthrough, like I'm level 60. I got all the guns. Like I'm basically built as a tank. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I got the katana build too on that one. So that's like my all-rounded character and like some netrunner stuff. My second playthrough is full netrunner, smart guns. Like, bro, I got the mono wire. Like, bro, that shit is crazy. When I tell you net running, like I got really into net running. When you get into that, bro, you can kill a whole like 40, 50 people like that, bro. It's so crazy. Like,
yeah, initially I ran with like hacking abilities and stuff, and because I love like my dream, I guess, character is always kind of like a Kenshi from Mortal Kombat, where it's a sidekick samurai kind of character. So the hacking, the brain hacking, the attacking them from like a distance and stuff like that, I loved it. It was like being psychic. I switched that out for like the rage thing. That was cool. That became like my go-to for like crazy situations. And then I switched that out for like the slow motion. And I was like, oh yeah, slow motion is cool, because I used that for like actually sneaking. Like when I had to do missions where I had to sneak, I would just go in slow motion and just like sprint dash all over the place. So I like that the game, and it really switches up like your approach to things. Because playing with Berserk instead of like the ability to hack people's minds, or even hack like cameras. I couldn't hack cameras anymore. I had to go up under them bitches and turn them off. So like the approach is really based on how you choose to play, and I respect that. I like that. That's really dope. I don't really have too many drawbacks to the gameplay, to be honest. I kind of wish more games played like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love this.
I love the passive leveling that happens. I love finding these skill cards on people that just, it's like a software update that just boosts your whatever skill up. I love stuff like that. It just makes the world feel more natural. The more you do stuff, the better you get at it. And that's really dope. Another thing that I think the game does pretty well is like visual immersion. Yeah. Whether it's graphics or just like the level design, the character models, the acting, the facial expressions, like all of that stuff is like
it's
done really well.
It's like this game feels like a next gen game, like just off of the visuals, bro. Like we talked about it so many times before, but Cyberpunk it looks so beautiful, bro. It's just like, it's the closest I think we've gotten to a real life, human face. I mean, this is of course Uncanny Valley, because like our eyes are trained to see those like peculiarities in the people's face, but like this is the closest I feel like we've gotten in the game to facial expressions and stuff.
And you say like Uncanny Valley, but like we see like Keanu Reeves and Idris Elba in this game, and these are two actors that we see like face to face in like movies, like all the time. Like these are popular actors, and it never really feels weird to look at them. Like when they're on screen, like you are looking at their character and you're just like watching what they say. Like you're kind of hooked onto what they're saying and doing. It's like, so I do want to give a shout out or props to CD Projekt Red and like their artists. You know what I mean? Because like as a game designer myself and someone who studies like character modeling, texturing, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. The motion capping, all of that. Just even like the cutscenes and cinematics, the way it picks up. Like there's no cutscenes that's like cinematic, scripted movie file. You know what I mean? Like there's a scene where like the plane crashes right where you're standing, and it's like, guys, it's like, damn, like what the hell? It's all in game. It's all in game, and like that's really cool. The game never really pulls you out of it. You know what I mean? When you die, like your system crashed. Just pick up where you last were loaded. You know what I mean? You might as well be in the Matrix almost. And it's really dope. It's really dope. Actually, I would kind of like to see them make a Matrix game. I actually think that would be kind of hard. Like they would be the perfect people to make a Matrix game. Bro. Like this would be perfect. And what else? The audio. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think all the sound effects are pretty good. The music okay. The music turns up when stuff's going on and stuff. Like we listening to it right now. We bumping it like.
Shout out the composer. It was P.T. Adamczyk and Jacek. I can't remember the last name, but both of them, they killed the soundtrack. The Phantom Liberty theme song is crazy too. That sounds like a Bond song, bro. Phantom Liberty theme song. But yeah, music has always been good in this game.
So yeah, man, the audio is really good. I really don't dislike this game. You know what I mean? Like, and I really want to say, like, I love this game. I don't like the forced ending, and I'm a particular harsh judge of, like, endings, because endings can kill such great experiences. You know what I mean? Like, Fable 2 is one of my favorite games, but Fable 2, like, they have, like, one of the worst endings and worst boss fights and stuff like that. But it's a great experience all the way up until that one point. Right. And everything all the way up until then is so like such a high, such a memorable like ride. It's like, dang, that's really kind of a whack ending. But is it whack because the ride was so incredible comparatively speaking? You don't know. But like, and some people say it's really hard to stick that landing, when you have such an incredible experience. The only thing for me that Cyberpunk kind of like slacks on is like, I don't like the way they choose to end their game. I kind of wish they just did the Skyrim thing where it was just like the main quest is nestled firmly in between a world of stuff to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, whether I did the main quest or not, I was constantly engrossed in the world of stuff to do. Okay. And when I finished the main quest, thank God that's over, I can get back to the world of stuff to do. Yeah. The game actually does the exact opposite, where it's like everything funnels into the main quest, and you get to that point where whether or not you did everything in the world, once you start the main quest, like it says, there's no going back. Make sure you do everything, because the game is over once you start the main quest, and it's a very finite ending. It doesn't take you necessarily back. It's like, do you want to play this again? Do you want to experience this again? Do you want to experience it a little bit differently and stuff like that? And for some people it's worth it, so like it's cool for them. I just would have preferred if it was just nestled organically in, and once I finished the main quest, it was like, oh no, you took down Arasaka, now you're playing in the world, and Arasaka's no longer, it's not here.
That'd be dope.
Or,
I see what you're saying.
Or you sided with Arasaka, and now you're just playing in the world where Arasaka's still on top, and you're doing missions for Arasaka. Or you sided with Solomon Reed, So now you get missions from the FIA from time to time. Like this is stuff that existed in Skyrim, where once you finish the main Dragonborn shit, like if you joined the Brotherhood Assassin Guild, you're still getting missions from them after you beat the game and you're just walking around. Or I joined the Companions and I'm still getting missions from them. So many people to talk to, so many groups and factions to join, with actual quest lines for themselves.
Right.
On top of just random fetch quests or random, repeating quests. Stuff like that. Like Cyberpunk has all of that baked in. It's just it gets really finite. It just gets to a point and it says this is done. Yeah. It's over. Like it's over. And even the story tells you like you're not gonna finish this game and go back to experience that world.
Yeah.
You have to reload an earlier save point. And the game constantly reminds me, hey, you need to finish the game. Hey, you need to finish the game. Every time I finish a quest, it tells me, hey, go to Nocturne, go start that last quest to finish the game, And I'm like, I just kind of want to explore the world. Like, stop telling me about that. I know about it. I beat it. Like, I just want to play the game. And it's like, no, get to the quest. Finish the game. And I'm like, I did. Stop reminding me how depressing the ending is. Like, I know it ends, I just want to enjoy the world. I would like to see maybe another Cyberpunk, but I would still be pretty harsh on it. If I'm being honest, I'd be like, all right, you have no excuses. No more excuses. Like, no excuses for nothing this time. You took forever for this first game. You abandoned the consoles and you system locked DLC and you only dropped one DLC and then that's it, They didn't change too much, but the game is good, the foundation is good. So for your next game, everything is there. Yeah. Because this game is fun. Just embrace the fun more. Like, don't make me so depressed. You said it's a staple of the genre. Yeah. To be depressing, and
it's because it's a dystopia. But I get what you're saying in that. The game, since it's a video game, it should have the video game mechanic where you can continue the story after you're done with it and not go back to before the point of no return. Like I completely understand that. Hopefully, the next game whenever it comes out, it doesn't. It's like a complete story within the open world. So we'll see.
So you wanted to talk about the like possible next game and stuff, right?
Yeah, like what the story could be.
Yeah, go ahead. What you think?
Okay, bet. So like, without going into spoilers, basically what this game sets up is an AI invasion from beyond the Black Wall is gonna come and kill all of humanity. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds so fire.
And they've kind of touched on it in the base ending with the Alt Cunningham and like how she's beyond the Black Wall and Mr. Blue Eyes. I don't know if you're familiar with Mr. Blue Eyes from that. He's in one of the side quests. Okay. The Jefferson Perales and he's running for mayor and he's like getting like mind controlled. Yeah. And stuff like he's with so Mr. Blue Eyes is part of Night Court. And there's a whole story behind Night Court with it. But basically, Mr. Blue Eyes, the theory is that he's an AI-controlled human. That's why he has blue eyes. Because remember, when you're hacking into stuff, you get blue eyes, right? And within the lore, you get blue eyes when you're hacking into stuff. So it looks like he could be an AI. That's a theory. We don't know yet. Like that's what the community been saying. And he keeps appearing in places. You feel me? Like in Phantom Liberty, he appears in the airport. You gotta go look for him though. Like he appears like. G-Man and Half-Life, he be appearing like that. Like he got like the umbrella shit. He be watching you on the train. Yeah, he's on like the ledge looking over at the train like with an umbrella. Okay. Looking at you, bro. Like this shit crazy. And so like the way CDPR been setting him up, bro. Either he's gonna be a main villain in the next game, or it's they do a switch up where he's trying to help us, but he's slowly like watching over us, trying to protect us from the rogue AIs beyond the Black Wall and the malicious people right there. So that's the first thing. Second thing is the fifth corporate war between Arasaka and Militech, which like they've been really going at each other in this game. Basically, you kind of work with Militech in Phantom Liberty, right?
Right.
And then you kind of work with Arasaka in the base game story, whether depending on the ending you pick. So they are gonna go to war. It seems like with very soon, and like even one of the side quests you play, like Padre, one of the fixers, he's like, yeah. So there's been rumblings of like Arasaka and Militech trying to like, going at each other again. You know what I'm saying? So those two things, AI Black Wall, AI Invasion, Fifth Corporate War, is probably what's gonna be the next game. So that sounds like a dope ass story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds.
It changes the whole story because you could be
exciting.
dealing like a whole war. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick a side in that war. You feel me?
Yeah.
Some like Mass Effect type shit, and at the same time you're fighting these like scary AIs. Like it turns into a horror game. Like literally, the ending of Phantom Liberty turns into a horror game if you side with Reed. So yeah, it's like it's so many different threads that really they could pull at. Like that got me excited about it.
Okay. I am interested in that. That does sound exciting. It's too bad I'm 100% sure V won't be involved.
He could be. I mean, but he'll probably be a side character in the next game.
Yeah.
You will probably play a new character. If I had to take a guess, we'll probably play a new character.
That does sound dope.
Yeah.
I don't know where else I would see the second game going except more into that. That sounds fire.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say about that. That sounds dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be very exciting. But we probably won't see that for the next 8-9 years. So
You think it's gonna take them another decade to make another Cyberpunk game?
I mean, I might be exaggerating. That's just me being like safe about it. But
I mean, how long has it been since we got a Elder Scrolls game? Because Skyrim dropped.
Skyrim was with 2010, 2011,
And it's 2023, so
it's 12 years. So I mean, like it really depends because video game development cycles are getting longer.
yeah.
Which is why I say 8-9 years. And like they're still patching Phantom Liberty, like adding different patches and stuff. But the majority of the team, it seems to look like, is on preparing for Orion, which is a sequel. But I mean, think about Cyberpunk. Even before the pandemic, they announced this game in 2013. They didn't really start developing until 2015. So what, 5 years development? So maybe it takes 5 years because they built it on. But here's another thing: they're moving to Unreal Engine 5.
Right.
They gotta relearn a whole new engine, and they're working with Unreal to change some stuff too, from what I'm hearing. So that's gonna take time to relearn an engine. The whole team gotta learn another engine.
At least it's Unreal though. It's an easy engine.
Yeah, it's kind of easy, but at the same time, Unreal has a certain look to it, and I don't know if I want Cyberpunk looking like that. I kind of want some changes to the graphical quality of Unreal, if I'm being real. Pun intended.
But the thing about like Unreal Engine is that at least you can get like photorealistic.
Yo, yeah, it look good.
There, like
It's just
like,
like-
it's up to the artist at that point.
Yeah, you're right. It's up to the art direction, which I just hope, because Cyberpunk has such a distinct art direction. I really hope they keep that over the second game.
I think Cyberpunk would do dope with some more horror elements in it.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah, especially after playing Reed's ending, like boy, like that shit. Straight up horror movie. Straight up horror movie. Some alien isolation type shit.
Boy, that sounds interesting. I gotta check that out.
Like I said, they took it in a direction I wasn't expecting. Like I was like, a horror game? What the hell? And when I played it, yeah, that shit crazy.
Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. Definitely a fun experience. Definitely worth playing. Definitely worth looking forward to seeing what they do next with the IP. It's based off of a tabletop, right?
Yeah, tabletop by Mike Pondsmith. He created it way back in the 80s, I think.
Alright, so it has a deep lore to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, very deep lore. Like all these characters that appear in the game, Adam Smasher, Alt Cunningham, Johnny Silverhand, are from the tabletop.
Really?
Yeah, so
Wow.
so that's why people are like, is it original IP? Like I know some people thought it was an original IP created by CDPR. Nope, it's a very old IP actually that's been around for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah, so very dope. The RPG combat and action wise is pretty good. As far as the RPG kind of narrative wise, the choose your adventure elements very very fun.
Yeah.
Especially in a cinematic kind of way where it's kind of like you pick where the movie goes. You know what I mean? Like the movie can end up in completely different places,
Right.
based off of the actions that you pick in some places or the people you side with. I would like to see them do some more RPG elements in the next game. Stuff that's more organic in terms of stuff like, you know, if you're gonna be a gangster, you know, you have a gang or anything like this.
I want a reputation system.
Yeah, like,
That'd
you
be
know,
hard.
stuff like that, like a reputation system, just ways that you feel like you're making waves in the world around you. You know, I want to make waves in an RPG, like, you know what I mean? Baldur's Gate is not similar to it in the gameplay, but it is similar to it in terms of like its background, because, you know, Dungeons and Dragons, tabletop and stuff like that. And they are both very similar in terms of they both have definitive endings to their story. So we're still not like in an era of people really willing to be brave and say like, hey, just live out in this world, this one world, live it out for like a while, because we've either filled it full with stuff to do for a while, or we plan to fill it with stuff to do for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I kind of wish developers would be a little bit more bold and trusting with either what they've made and what their audience will, you know, respond to, because a lot of developers have tried to force live service games on us, and then they quit on those live service games.
Yeah, they can't even do that right. Like,
you know what I
so
mean?
crazy.
But the fan base is we're a lot nicer, you know. And I'm a game developer. I'm a game developer who sees the fan base in action when I like do showcases. When we do showcases and stuff, and like I actually see people playing my game, where I'm like, I have all this anxiety from all the bugs and stuff in my game, and people are like really just playing the game and finding out things that they just enjoy,
figuring
when
it
they
out.
play the game. And as a player myself with these other games, like I want to live more in the world of the game. I do want to play more of the game. You know what I mean? I don't want to be punished for wanting to play the game, and I wish developers were a little bit more bold, because Cyberpunk 2077 could have been the game, like, you know, Destiny still gets DLCs.
Yeah.
You know, for like, it's on season whatever. For Honor gets DLCs, it's on season whatever. Cyberpunk could be a game where it's like, yeah, Phantom Liberty is the city, the base game, whatever. I mean, not Phantom Liberty, the Cyberpunk 2077 is the base game, whatever. Phantom Liberty added Dogtown, and then another DLC adds another town, and then another DLC adds another town, and then another DLC adds the space station, and then another DLC and you know, they didn't have to just say we're done, we finished, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, they could have actually like let us explore this, really enjoy it. You know, with some patches, they can slide some quests in there to keep us fed on this one game for a long time. You know, Skyrim style. Like, even if they wasn't ready, they can still like, this is a good game. You know, it's a good game. It doesn't have to end as soon as it does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely bittersweet, bro. Like,
yeah,
I love the game so much, but now I have to like, cause I'll still play it, you know, every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, I wish there was they add another expansion and stuff, but I can understand why they want to move to the next game, because, you know, they got to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Game development is all about, like, I mean, they got to prepare, bro.
But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish they had a little bit more confidence. You know what I'm saying? I wish they had a little bit more faith in their audience, in their consumers, because people did love Phantom Liberty. You know what I mean? people like I am someone who was on the PS4 when I beat Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And when I got to the PS5, one of the first games I bought, well, the first one I bought was Baldur's Gate. But while I was playing Baldur's Gate, I was like, damn, I kind of wish I was playing Phantom Liberty right now. So the next game I got was Phantom Liberty, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this was fun to play. Like, I would keep playing Cyberpunk. Like, this anxiety, I do think part of them is like, yeah, that launch was really bad.
And
traumatized, yeah, like there's a little trauma there where it's like, no, you know, this is the last thing we're gonna do and we're gonna move on and the next thing will be bigger and better or it's gonna be more stable or whatever. But like there's also gonna be, like you said, like that learning curve for having to develop for a new engine and stuff like that. And you know that with Anthem was developed by a development team that had to learn a new engine. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And like there's that learning curve.
Yeah.
You know, and on top of having to up what happens in Cyberpunk, they have to build up the story or continue the story, and you know, the combat. You don't want the combat to be like a whole new thing, you know what I mean, or whatever. So, you know, they're gonna have new problems to deal with, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
I wish they stuck with the Red Engine for the sequel. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if they had a little bit more faith, they could have really turned Cyberpunk 2077 into, like, something that was worth staying hooked on. You know, it didn't have to feel like a live service game, but it would have felt like a RPG that you just stay hooked. Because, like, every day there's new activities. Sometimes they slid in a patch, but you know when a new DLC was dropping, it was like dropping a whole new game. And, you know, and, like, if they was planning to switch to a new engine, I would say drop DLC after DLC, where the only thing you have to really focus on is like maybe voice acting, because the assets are all you can, you know, use assets and
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be like you're making everything from scratch. You already have the engine. Make some bank off some DLC for a little bit. Make some good DLCs, but like space them out. But whatever, like flesh this out, get a little comfortable, and then. Yeah, drop the new engine, but I would say like drop a new engine, new game, maybe like when you're ready, like when you're really confident. Don't even announce it. Like you should really be mastering Cyberpunk right now.
Yeah, that's what they did with Phantom Liberty. They only announced it 2 months before or 1 month before, and like they've been doing that with the patches too, where they don't announce at all and they'll just drop it randomly. That's why I went 2.0, and so. I respect it. Like they stay quiet and they put their head down. But yeah, I do wish they could add more to this game. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, and it's a very good game. It's a good story. Definitely worth replaying to see different outcomes and stuff like that. I love the combat. I love the gameplay. I love the visuals. I do want to play more of the game. I might check out some of the alternate endings because I feel like that's worth seeing and worth checking out, especially if they alter or vary as much as you know give the vibe that they do, and especially because you know the world is worth playing and living into. I think it's one of the better first-person RPGs out there, to be honest. I definitely wish they just had more faith in what they gave us.
Yeah.
I wish they had more faith in what they gave us because we would have gone with them all the way with this.
Oh yeah.
I think the audience would have, like, with the way people came back for Phantom Liberty and like the support Phantom Liberty got and stuff like that. I think if they had said, hey, the next DLC, we're taking you on a mission to the moon, and it's coming in 2024, like people, the stocks would have gone up. You know what I mean? Like.
I mean, maybe there's a chance, bro.
Nah.
Like maybe they could be like working on something, but
The trauma's done, bro.
I highly doubt it. You know what I'm
They wanted the announcement that they're done working on DLCs for this game. They're done working on this game outside of like patches and stuff. Like they're done. They washed their hands. They're gonna move on to the next game, and that's respectable. But I am going to they do know that like it's going to come with that set of new game problems. You know, it's not necessarily a full sequel for them. It's
they're gonna be under scrutiny forever now.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a launch. Like people are gonna watch how the game launches. They're gonna check the game for bugs. You know what I mean? If they try to make it live service because everything is going live service, that's gonna be a giant
Hell,
L.
bro. I hope they don't do that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be like, okay, our eye is on you because of the first game. You know what I mean? Whereas the DLC and Phantom Liberty and the effort they put into the, fixing the game, that goes towards goodwill. You know what I mean? Like for the audience, where we feel like, yeah, this was more of what we wanted. You know what I mean? Like you're showing support for the base game. Like you're supporting that game. You're supporting something that, it wasn't perfect, but it was your best effort, and you're supporting it and you're making it better. Whereas when you give us something like a whole different thing, we have to get attached to that thing now. You know what I mean? And it's still Cyberpunk, so we'll see. But that also comes with, it's gonna be compared. Like, is it still Cyberpunk? Does it still feel like the last Cyberpunk? Does it feel completely different? Is it completely better? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if the people who made Spider-Man for the PS4 and the PS5, if they completely switched different engines. It's been a challenge for them. So we'll see. But I like the game. I definitely recommend it. The development struggle definitely seemed to have resulted in a learned experience for them.
Very much. That
they
be understatement on that.
Yeah, they definitely came back on this with Phantom Liberty, and it's pretty
Complete comeback.
It's pretty good.
No Man's Sky type shit.
Oh, No Man's Sky type. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty accurate. I'll give it that. So, what would you give Phantom Liberty then?
So I'll drop my review later, but I gave it a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10. Okay.
I wish my one criticism is I wish Kurt Hansen was used more in the game because I really like his character.
I respect that. Yeah, I definitely give it like a 8.5 out of 10. Only real criticism would be just some weird bugs that still exist, difficult. I don't know. I'm not really sold on the RPG perks, like the skill system, the new skill system. I kind of like stopped using it for a bit and then got back into it and then stopped using it. Like I would level up and just be like, it's not even worth it because like I have to level up like this part 5 times and then it's gonna take me a minute to get to what I want anyway. I'm just gonna collect the skill points for now. Like it's whatever. But stuff like that, and then the story feeling like a punishment and not wanting me to come back to play it, like stuff like that. That's the only like detriment. But other than that, I love playing the game. Like I love when I play. I love when the game gives me more reason to play it. So I would definitely play it more. You know what I mean? Like just to experience other endings and stuff like that. But definitely worth playing. I give it 8.5 out of 10. I don't really try to rate games like that, but yeah, Cyberpunk. What you guys think? Let me know. And we out.